Welcome back to the Stevenage Sheet Metal Super 1 British Karting Championships. The KGP Class is up next, but before we go there, just having a chat here with the main sponsor for the series, Gary Byatt from Stevenage Sheet Metal. Now, Gary, when I heard that you were sponsoring the series, I wasn't sure what sheet metal had to do with karting, but of course you're now heavily involved with the manufacture of karts and these new Synergy cadet karts, which are going particularly well. How did you get into that in the first place?
Long story, but obviously with my lad racing, interested in the karts, and we had a quiet period last year, and I thought if we had our own product, we could be busy making something we could sell eventually. So we decided to have a go at making karts and homologated them at the end of last year, and here we are now. Yeah,
and the amazing thing is usually, I mean, there's people get set on particular types of chassis and stick with them, and you know, it's like using a crowbar to get them out of the seat. You've got some top runners in your karts already, these new Synergy karts, and they're doing pretty well. I know Johnny Edgar's in, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Johnny and Teddy Wilson, Zach Robertson, all doing very well on them. So yeah, really pleased to have these lads on them.
And how much testing was involved? Who was doing the testing for you? Because you need young kids to do the testing, and how does that work?
Yes, the early testing was obviously all done by my lad Owen, and then over the winter we did a lot of testing over to Spain, Lanzarote, testing them, comparing them to the competitions karts to see if they were any good or not, and we decided they were good enough to race.
So these are cadet karts. What's your plans moving forward? Are you planning for sort of the larger adult size karts, mini-max, junior rotax, senior rotax, that sort of thing? You're smiling.
Got no plans yet, but you'd never say never. I think that nut will be a harder one to crack, so we'll stick with this for now.
So it's KGP time at Glanagors Park. Oliver Hodgson and Mark Litchfield on the front row. Jamie Flynn and Bobby Game. Matt Davies and Aaron Dew on row 3. From Gilliland and Giles. Harmon and Rowley on row 5. Ahead of Daniel Baybutt and Jack New. 12 karts, a brilliant racetrack, and it's a little bit drier than before. What a start from Bobby Game, straight up alongside Mark Litchfield. It's game on once again between Litchfield and Game as they run up to the spoon curve, but keep an eye out on Oliver Hodgson. He is ready to pounce.
I think that should have been a false start. The pole man there was Hodgson, but
it's raining.
Wasn't in front.
It's raining. Sorry, Alan. It's raining. Everybody on slick tyres, and it started raining. This is an appalling bit of luck for the drivers. It's going to be an absolute lottery now. Rain in the air as we're on board with Matt Davies, looking at Flynn. Look, everybody on slick tyres. You can see that this is going to be like driving on sheet ice for the rest of this race.
It's the same for all of them, though. What you don't want is somebody to be on wets and you're on slicks. If everyone's on slicks, then quite frankly, it's game on for everybody. We're all in the same boat. We're on board here.
Well, they're using so much curb. This is a real risk. They've got a chance of messing up big style. In fact, that's exactly what's happened for Flynn. He uses too much curb, and Davies up the inside. Nicely done.
Great move by Matthew up the inside. Matthew Davies, the junior TKM champion from last year, racing KGP for the first time.
And nice little battle here as Hodgson and Litchfield continue their fight. Game is down to third place now with the 23 of Aaron Dew just in behind them. Hodgson goes wide, Litchfield around the outside, He takes him off! I don't believe it, on the exit of the spoon, they've come together and Litchfield is off.
The teammates, so Hodgson's got the lead.
Well, this is Rosberg versus Hamilton if things keep going in 2014.
And look at the rain!
Absolutely appalling. Let's look at this again.
Well, he's got the switchback on him, hasn't he, Mark? And we can't see from this angle, but I mean, I suspect there, to be honest, I don't think Oliver's got anywhere to go. I think he's squeezed to the inside. He can't drive on the grass, obviously, particularly as we've just seen the rain coming down. And I think that's just an unfortunate incident between the two teammates. But back on board with Davis.
Well, of course, the drama between those two means it's going to be Hodgson will get back to the pits and say, what did you think you were doing? And Mark Litchfield will say, what did you think you were doing? Up the inside comes Davies as he makes the move on Aaron Dew, and that's going to be enough to put him into, I think, third position, possibly fourth. But still a great scrap, and Daniel Baybutt has made his way up through the field. Look, he's right on the tail of Dew, up the inside, up on the curb, but he makes it stick.
Oh, it's a lovely move by Daniel, nice and clean.
And that's Flynn getting through. Flynn gets by Dew, and it looks like so too is Gilliland. He gets by. Aaron Dew losing places, hand over fist here.
Yep, still quite greasy. The rain looks like it's stopped now, but the track will still be quite greasy later on in the race. This is Daniel Baybutt all over the back of Matt Davis now. Down to the final turn. Will Baybutt make the move? He does.
Oh, glorious overtaking move into Paddock Bend. Daniel Baybutt makes light work of the 28. Up onto the back of Bobby Game. He should come in a couple of laps now. But if I know Daniel Baybutt, it's going to be a very interesting race from here on in. He won, in my opinion, and yours I'm sure as well, Alan, the greatest kart race we've ever seen. Last year in the TKM Festival in the junior category, Daniel Baybutt is very capable of something pretty special, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him right at the sharp end at the end of this one.
We're on board here with Davis looking at Baybutt, and apparently Baybutt was in some car racing list recently. But
yes, I did happen to see him at the entry list for a recent round of the Ariel Atom Cup at Rockingham, along with another Super 1 star, Danny Curl. But it's interesting to see the trend of Super 1 stars from recent years that have come into cars, especially when you've got the likes of British superstars in Formula Renault like Matt Parry, Ben Barnicoat. You've got Seb Morris up there as well, all Super 1 stars.
There's a move. That's the 27 kart. Jamie Flynn up the inside of Matt Davis. So Davis loses another one. We've got Baybutt all over the back of Bobby Game now.
But
Jamie Flynn.
Well, Oliver Hodgson in the 17, he's checked out in front. He's got a massive advantage unless he's fallen off the road. But we haven't seen anything, so Hodgson, massive advantage in the 17. As Baybutt makes his move, look, on Bobby Game, he is swarming over the back. We need to get back to that action because Hodgson out in front. Has Baybutt made the move on Bobby Game? Yes, he has. He's through. Brilliant move there from Daniel Baybutt. He swarmed all over the back of one of karting's best ever drivers, and Bobby Game is having to play catch up now.
Yeah, we just saw the lead there that Hodgson's got. It's a comfortable lead. He's not going to win the championship, Oliver Hodgson, because he's got to lose. He's got to drop the round one because he was excluded from the meeting. So he's not going to get that back. So he won't win the championship this year. He's got to count that 0 score in his final total. Great picture on here. How he comes up. He's only going to be up, I think, for a few laps because of the weather. It's up now though. You see Baybutt through the final turn, across the stripe one more time, through Club Corner and onto Dragon Straight. Fantastic shot from the helicam. Game getting closer as they go up through turn 2. Much closer, Jay.
Yes, indeed. He might make the move here with the carousel. Oh, that is textbook Bobby Game, isn't it? He lined him up very nicely into the spoon. And on the run to carousel, he's having to hold the left-hand side of the circuit to keep Baybutt back. But what a drive this is from Daniel Baybutt, keeping up with Bobby Game.
Yeah, it's a fantastic drive by Daniel. And probably certainly his best performance in the KGP class. That is the details for Bobby Game, vice champion for the last 2 years. Looking to go one better, but to be honest,
here comes Baybutt on the inside. Thank you very much indeed for the memories, Bobby. I'm up in second place.
Yeah, going into the final lap as well. That was the penultimate final turn, and look at that. He's instantly pulled 15 kart lengths.
Left him standing. Second position, very critical on the last lap as Oliver Hodgson. He's already nearly half a lap ahead of the rest of the field in these tricky conditions, but that is going to be talked about afterwards. That collision with Mark Litchfield, whatever you say about whose fault it was, it's definitely going to be an issue when they get back to the pits afterwards. But Oliver Hodgson takes the victory in fine style. Baybutt second from Bobby Game. What a race.
Racing incident for me.
Okay, well, fair enough. We'll have to see what happens as a result of that one. But Bobby Game has been beaten fair and square here by Daniel Baybutt. You haven't heard the last of this one. Absolutely fantastic battle here.
Fairly good start. When it was greasy, we didn't really have the bottom end to pull us off the corner. And then as the race got on and then we got more grip, it got better, but obviously still not right. So yeah, third's all right. It's good.
I had a good race. I started from second to last because something went wrong in the final before, and then it was raining. So I'm quite confident here in the rain because I've done a lot of laps around here. And then I just picked my way through the pack and it started to dry up. And then I slowly caught Bobby up, passed him, and then on the second to last lap, he passed me. So I passed him back into the last corner and got a bit of a gap. Don't know if he bogged down or something like that happened.
It's been a really good day, to be fair, because yesterday we had two non-finish and an exclusion with a problem with the clutch, and it's been really good to win both finals today. It's questionable. It was really hard at the start with it raining, but luckily here it dries so fast that it was only a matter of time before it was back to normal running in the dry. And I was fortunate enough to build up a really big lead, so I was never under pressure towards the end, which always makes your life a lot easier.
So despite the drama, Mark Litchfield is still at the top of the table from Bobby Game, with Matt Davies in third position. Daniel Babert doing well, moving up into fourth place ahead of Jamie Flynn and Aaron Dew. Oliver Hodgson's victory, not enough to put him in the top 6 after that exclusion from round 1. But the battle is on in KGP. Next up, it's KZ1, the last race of the weekend here at Glenagorse Park, and it's sure to be a thriller. Back in a mo.